Y'all, women are taking over the music awards, and I couldn't be any happier. Plus, we got Gia Banks and Lauren Legrasso in studio. Stay tuned. Boop.
Presented by AfterBuzz TV and live from Los Angeles, California, it's AfterBuzz Tonight with Jesse Janity. AfterBuzz TV's first late-night talk show with a millennial mindset. From trending topics to interviews with your favorite influencers, celebrities, and performers, we've got it all. So grab your favorite late-night snack and join the conversation. And now your host, Jesse Janity.
Hey. What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse J, and welcome back to your favorite night of the week, Mondays. I'm joined in studio. She's back. Miss Jayla rocks in the building.
Oh my God! Thank you for having me. I miss this room so much. What's up? It's me, Jayla Rocks, and I'm back in the building.
In her own little corner, in her own little chair, she gon' be whatever she wanna be. Y'all, we got a full show for you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We got the one and only Miss Gia Banks in the building. Gotta love Gia. Okay.
I'm a first timer. It's so good to be here. I'm so happy to be in this room with all this great lighting, honey. I love it.
Looking bomb as fuck.
Yes. I'm so happy to be here, y'all.
Me too. Okay, so we got so much to talk about.
Oh my God.
We got some hot topics to talk about. We got some trending topics to talk about. And we got some mess to talk about. Okay?
We're gonna get into
make sure you
some
guys
bang.
stay tuned because we got Lauren Legrasso coming in the second half of the show, and she got some new music that y'all ain't ready for. All right, let's talk about it. So, hot off the press, Chick-fil-A just came out talking about that they no longer will be serving
waffle fries?
Just kidding. Anti-LGBTQ people. So basically, they, in the sense of, so a lot of people were upset because they used to donate to places like the Salvation Army.
Okay.
And there's another Christian church or whatever that they used to donate to. So a lot of LGBTQ people were very upset that Chick-fil-A was supporting these. They had a 4-year deal or something where they had to donate to these companies, and now that that is off the records, they came out to say that they no longer will support those charities anymore. So they are they stepping on the ally wagon, or are they saying, okay, we don't want the press, the negative press, and we just going to support like these companies?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to play this person. I'm all
Devil's
for
advocate?
maybe not devil's advocate, but just hear me out. So I think that everybody wants to change at some point, and I believe that everybody has a change of heart, and you know, times are changing. Maybe these people are saying like, you know what, yeah, that was our grandmas and grandpas that had control of that, but now that I'm able to use my platform for good, I'm going to change this whole Chick-fil-A ordeal around.
So, but my question to you guys is that do we get upset that, not upset, but like, okay, yes, they're making the change of not supporting these companies, but haven't moved past it and said, okay, but now we want to support companies that support that.
Is there a time frame? Like, realistically, I feel like it's a little too late, y'all. Like, y'all missed y'all mark. I mean, personally, I'm offended. And I feel like as a black trans woman, you should be too. You know what I mean? It's just realistic for us to be a part of the community, for us to be in a place to where everyone is included, everyone is accepted. It's just like, where do we have time to be prejudiced?
So to you, it feels like it's more a PR stunt. Like, okay,
for sure,
you were getting
it's
slammed.
crazy for us not to think that.
Well, because now look, now Chick-fil-A looking like, well, Popeye's got them
the
chicken.
coins coming in?
Popeye's got them chicken sandwiches
and
now.
honey, the line is through the door. I mean, I live.
Did you have one?
In the inner city. I live in the inner city, so realistically, I had one like when they first came out, like strategically at an after hours time. Because realistically, I knew there was not going to be a line. Literally on my way here tonight, guys, there was a freaking line. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I mean, that's the comparison. That's who they're competing with. So yeah, they're going to try to stay on their A game, and you know,
all right. So
say
Gia,
I'm
you
sorry
ain't seeing through the
and
smoke.
I apologize, but we have to be realistic. We can't support that.
Right, I agree. I know. I
haven't been to Chick-fil-A in a minute,
that.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if it wasn't for the Polynesian sauce, I probably wouldn't.
End of story. And honestly, you can just walk up to the window and be like, "Hey, I just got an order. Can I get like 5 Polynesian sauce?" You just go get them. Polynesian. Robin Hood, steal from the rich and you give to yourself if you poor. All right, moving on from that. Okay, so women in music right now, it's a beautiful thing. I don't know if y'all watched the Soul Train Awards last night.
I did.
I glimpsed at it.
I wish I could have been
Shout
there.
out to my Bogan family.
Yes.
Shout out to Jamari and MJ Hernandez. I mean, she just kind of stole the show, realistically.
Literally.
I mean, I woke up this morning and all down my timeline, it was just like LGBT acceptance and appreciation. And I commend the producers for incorporating that segment into the show, because it is happening. It is in the now. It is the new now for us, realistically. I mean, ballroom has been authentic. It has been a part of the LGBTQ community for so long, and it's just brilliant, and it's amazing to have that full circle moment, and also to see my peers and people that I've been performing with and dancing with and voguing with forever get their roses.
And especially in a place like the Soul Train Awards.
Yes.
Like versus like the BET Awards or MTV Awards, where it's like, okay, MTV will use Vogue, but it's in like a Madonna performance, but it's not really celebrated as that. It's more appropriate.
Yeah.
Ballroom is Black history.
Hello.
Period.
Okay, let's be very clear on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but to get into all that, so there's a few things on the lineup coming up, because we all know award season is starting to kick its own way back for the music world, and I'm super excited. The AMAs are coming up this weekend. They just announced that the one and only Miss Ciara will be hosting the American Music Awards.
Okay. She's in this hosting gig now. She hosts a show on Nickelodeon.
I like it.
The Family Greatest Singers or whatever. She, like, whatever prayer she did, she's getting the man. She's getting
did
the
the
money.
Popeyes prayer.
Is that what it is?
I commend my sis. I commend her. Like, realistically, I can appreciate her not only plug in evolution, but just realistically seeing her evolve, you know what I mean? From a young girl from Atlanta, Georgia, who is extremely talented and is kind of overlooked.
And was putting
Become a
out
model,
music when she was above her, she was beyond her time when she
for
first
sure.
came out.
I
because
agree.
no one was
I agree.
putting music out like Ciara.
I mean, I literally still perform goodies like it's the first time I heard
Ever
it.
had the
I swear to
crop
God.
top with the bottom titties
You know,
out?
that
Yeah.
showing. I mean, really,
And the body
it's-
chain.
You know what I mean? It's just like signature aesthetic for her, and it's just great to see her full circle.
Yeah.
You know, she deserves everything
She
that's
does
coming in
deserve
her
it.
direction.
I'm a fan.
For sure.
And I love that she's somebody that who can dip her toes in everything.
In a little bit of
Fashion,
everything,
music,
yes.
hosting. And I think hosting's it. Like, don't get into acting. We don't need you to be a Beyonce and do the acting thing. I like the hosting thing. I like it. But why I want to do this is so, Miss Gia, she performs around the world. And
I do my little thing.
I want to do this clip because you honored Ciara.
Yes.
By doing a little
She's
dance
one of my
tribute. This is
girls.
Pride, right?
Yes,
this
is
last Pride.
West Hollywood Pride. This is opening night.
Hey.
Paula Abdul was headlining, so it was a pretty big deal. Shout out to MAC Cosmetics for the amazing stage.
Literally.
They honestly have...
They showed out this past year.
They show out every year, you know what I mean? And even in reference to New York City and World Pride and how they actually support, they actually are hands-on and sponsorship and making sure that the people create the space for us to have equality and to feel like one unit. And I think that's what a lot of the times a lot of corporations and brands and businesses, they forget that. They're just trying to get a lead on, the happening, the hot, and the now, and the coins, like you said. But realistically, it's like, what are you doing to set yourself apart in this business and in this industry? What makes you stand out? And I really appreciate Mac for giving me the opportunity and creating that beautiful space. I mean, really look at the stage.
And
bitch.
take a look right now, because
All right,
please
let's
get
take
in,
a look.
people. Look, here's Miss Gia Banks as Ciara.
Yes. that stage is just
so
amazing, you guys.
The crowd was
energy
living
is
for it.
so unreal for me. Yeah, I love
my
it.
thing for you is I've seen many performances of yours.
Yeah.
And you know, I've seen your sultry and all this.
Yes.
But I said to you, there was something about this performance that I felt like it birthed something new in you, and I saw a different side of you that I always have seen in you, but I saw it come out in a different way.
Yes.
Tell me about your year right now and how this performance kind of enhanced that for you.
It changed so much. Realistically, I spent 2 years in a really awkward place with performing. And I think it's because a lot of people get so hung up on trying to create music. And for me, I was so disappointed in myself for a little while because I kept hearing, you should do music, you should do music, you should do music. And I'm like, bitch, I can't sing.
Like what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean, really? And in all honesty,
because
I feel like
funny.
that's what it is.
I've known you, and I was searching on YouTube, and I came across music video. Like you actually have shot. Videos.
Yeah. So, but that's for me. That's content.
Yep.
Those are theatric moments, but. For me, it's still emulation. It's still impersonating. You know what I mean? Because I'm not a vocalist. I mean, I do sound sultry when I talk. But however, I'm not a singer. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna push something on the forefront that I can't commit to. So for me, after.
So did you feel like when someone said that to you, like, okay, I can't do this because people are wanting this, and should I be like you were? battling that
there was
yourself?
A continuous battle,
and almost like
you know what I'm saying. And for me, I was presented with the opportunity to perform headlining at Pride. And for me, it was more so a big deal just because I had never been in that placement. So for me, showcasing something authentic was really and truly what I wanted to do. But I felt like it was time for me to step to the plate and change my dynamic. I had performed Sierra a couple times before, and I never really considered myself to be an impersonator. You know what I mean? I just was feeling like that vibe, that moment. Right. So let me just go with it. Being a technical trained dancer, I kind of took heed to situations like that with dancers and vocalists that can dance as well as perform. So I considered it again. It was brought to my attention that I was really good at it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just go all out this one time. Let me give it a fucking shot. Yeah. And
bitch hair, outfit,
I mean, you heard the crowd.
Magic.
Because I've seen you perform live before, and I was a couple of tequila shots in.
Yeah.
But I've seen you do a middle split, and I was like, here, take my money, bitch. So, yeah. Much deserved. Much deserved.
Baby,
Thank you,
what she can do in 2 feet, 2 by 4 feet.
Yeah, and so that's realistically, that's why I'm so grateful that I was able to get the opportunity to really showcase my talents in a platform, in a space to where it was like a real stage. It was a real audience.
Yeah.
I mean, I can commend my trans sisters and also my drag queen sisters that work 5 days a week at these gay bars, at these hole in the walls. You know what I mean? Because after a while, you start questioning and thinking to yourself, what the fuck am I doing this for? Yeah. You know, because realistically, it's like, it's gratifying to see a crowd go crazy and they throw a couple dollars, but at the end of the day, that's really only gas money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's really only money for fucking Taco Bell or Jack in the Box at the end of the night to kiki with your girlfriends, buy a little 20 bag of weed. You know what I'm saying? Just being authentic. You know what I'm saying? In realistic situations, I feel like we are overlooked and overshadowed. And I commend the drag queens that are consistent, because it is so difficult as a trans woman to be considered because we're overshadowed. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm here. I'm just trying to create a special lane for girls like me.
And I want to build off that too, because
let's
it's
build.
You know, yes, girl. Let's fucking build. We're just gonna fucking build it all. No, because so obviously it's Trans Awareness Week, and
let's be aware. Okay, let's be aware. Stay woke.
But again, it's it's something, and I love Jayla too, because Jayla called me and she was like, "Hey, let's have a real discussion about this."
Talk about
But let's not just talk about it this week. Like, let's make this like a thing.
Yeah.
And I said that I agree with the same thing, because here it's funny. I grew up on a Native American reservation, and I just until this year, end of last year, this year, I found out that there's a Native American month, and it's so funny because I'm like, no, that's not on the calendar anywhere or anything like that. How long has it taken for Black History Month to get a month?
Right. Yeah.
And it's a month, and then we only have a Trans Awareness Week.
Right.
But the thing is that and I love that Jayla, you said the thing is like we can have all these events and the weeks and the months and all that, but like until it doesn't matter, because it just needs to be normalized.
Yeah.
And I love that, because I think on a general scale, that's where we need to be in life with people and everything. It's just, what do you do?
Right.
Not who are you sleeping with? What are you doing? And I want to get into the topic of the Breakfast Club, because we had Miss Flame Monroe, Miss or Mr. as he goes by every noun or pronoun and whatnot. He has a hashtag called he, she, we. So I watched this, and off top, Flame Monroe, I didn't know much about what I thought her. When I saw her comedy, I thought, okay, it's funny, what the clips that I had seen. But to watch this interview, I was really pulled back a little bit. And so I want to open the floor, because she said some things that I as a white gay male have no right to discuss, but I want to learn and I want to know. So everything I have been taught from women and my friends like you
absolutely
has been erased by what she said, in a sense, because my question is she claims that he, she, we, to start a hashtag like this and say, he gets the check, she gets this, I'm not cutting my dick off, and cracking jokes and all this kind of stuff, and not really committing to a label or whatnot. How does that affect but then to continue to say I'm a part of the LGBTQ community and my trans sisters, and saying things like that, how does that make you feel, in a sense of like, does that feel sisterly? Does that feel like your Flame Monroe is helping the community move forward or moving backwards with words like that and starting a hashtag like he, she, we?
For me personally, I personally didn't take offense to her experience, because that is Flame's experience.
So you understand that world of what she explained.
It's not that I understand it. I just feel like personally, it's so easy to get caught up.
They ain't gonna hear. I know it looks like it should be like that.
Okay.
This is it.
All right.
Speak
That's
to
it.
The people
that's
and
it.
look right in that camera.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Realistically, though, I see both sides of the spectrum, and I feel like even in reality, when it comes to heterosexual lifestyles, we even have like the grandparents who are somewhat like culture shock. They're a little like old-fashioned, as we call it, or stuck in their ways, if that makes sense. And I just felt like there was not enough clarity with her expressing that's her experience.
Basically her story. She didn't really get to explain her story.
Well, no, she explained her story very well. She was very vulnerable with us, I think. But I feel like she forgot to mention throughout that's her experience, and that's how she feels, and that's her perception. And she kind of put us all included, and it was just kind of like, I don't think we all feel that way. For sure I don't. And in all honesty, my sister Hope Giselle, who had a strong rebuttal about it, I feel like it needs to be delegated. It needs to be expressed. You know what I mean?
Explain, because I didn't see the rebuttal. What was Giselle? And I know Giselle.
It's not that she was personally offended, but I think she was speaking as a whole. And it is in a place for us to talk about. because it's not old, it's not a secret anymore. You know what I mean? We are here living our lives in the full potential aesthetic. So it is something that needs to be conversed, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the bigger issue is, when you speak from experience, you have to be very clear that it is my experience. And I appreciate what Hope mentioned in realistic situations as far as setting us back, because you get so hung up on the fact that your life experience is supposed to be ours, but I don't have kids. And when I do have kids, because I'm going to be a mother, because I'm a woman. Yes, I'm a woman of trans experience, but first and foremost, I am a woman. Yes, I am Black, but my gender is first. I'm a woman. So I think that's where the frustration comes from.
Because that's what, again, with me, watching it, I looked at it as, okay, if my mother or my family was to watch this, this would add to the agenda of, well, look, Flame Monroe says that he's a man. No, that is Flame Monroe's
exactly.
experience.
He is, honey, and that is the difference. And in reference to that, my sister T.S. Madison, who is, very renowned. We pretty much all know her for her work and her experience. And she actually did a talk show with Hope in response to this experience. And even for her, I appreciate her authenticity so much, because she mentions how her government name is Timothy, and it's not a secret. But for her, it's the same experience. Like, Timothy is the one who signs the check or cashes the check, but T.S. Madison is the one who's getting the bookings and the check. So realistically, there are two portions. There's two parts. But now, the difference between T.S. Madison and Flame Monroe is T.S. Madison is referred to as she, her. So even if she was supposed to be Timothy, when she's introducing herself to you, that's T.S. Madison. And that's what she wants to be respected and called.
Right.
And that's just what it is. There are some people that get so caught up in the mega clout. And it's still smart, to be marketable, and create numbers and volumes. But realistically, you have to be comfortable with who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just what the bottom line is. And I think that we get so caught up in being comfortable and okay with what we're not, that sometimes we will... realistically, take the shadow of the doubt and just stick with it. And it's so hindrance to girls like us who are actually fighting for our reality. It's just unheard of. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I feel like in movements there are certain steps, and I looked at this one because I understand, and for you to say, I understand her experience, his experience.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand that. I get it.
Absolutely.
I hear everything that he's saying, but I know that you're also on a platform, and I fight with the fact of saying I don't want to be a role model. You are.
Period.
Because now you're saying things, and now we're talking about it because it's on such a global level.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Jayla, how did you take that interview, and where was your mindset? Did you feel it was a forward motion or a backward motion with that conversation?
I agree with everything. I'm not going to repeat the same thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh. Well.
That makes me feel good.
All right, well,
we on to something. Go on, girl. Go on, queen.
Because we can talk about this all day. We'll save a specific episode for that. But in the meantime, we're gonna lightheart this thing up in here. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna play a little game. So the holidays are right around the corner, and the first holiday that's coming up that most people are excited for is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving is supposed to be a place where you all gather with your family and talk about what you're thankful for.
Even though it's
and
built
then
on
beat
murdering
the shit
Native Americans.
Well, and then beat the shit out of each other on Friday for Black Friday. So
and it's no shade.
Well, hey, I'll see you on Cyber Monday, girl. So we're gonna play a little game, like a this or that. Which one would you rather survive your Thanksgiving with? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the first one: would you rather have no mac and cheese or no ham?
No ham. Oh, that's a hard one.
No.
It is so hard. You're doing so good already. Fucking no mac and cheese.
Okay.
Oh, you picking the ham?
Yo.
Oh,
Yo.
not
Okay.
your gut gonna be fucked up.
All right.
No, it's not.
No, I'm
good.
with you.
I'm good.
The
Love. Don't
dairy
put that on
definitely
me.
with you.
Don't put that negative away, positive around. Okay.
All right. So the next
Wait,
one
no,
is.
what you doing?
Oh, I'm definitely like, I can go without no mac and cheese. I gotta have some ham. I'm sorry.
Period,
Got to.
Honey baked.
All right,
next.
yeah.
Period.
So honey baked,
Glazed with a little cherry and a pineapple
Yeah.
on top.
All right. So the next one: no alcohol or no music.
Oh, no alcohol. No music. What? What are we doing? There's no cha-cha slide? What? It's not Thanksgiving. No.
What do you think?
Well, where am I? I'm at Friendsgiving or Thanksgiving?
You're at-
Friendsgiving, I can do
You're
music.
being complicated, okay?
Right. It's at whatever
Girl.
table you're at, whatever function you're at.
I need the liquor. I'll sing a song.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I say. So
I'm
I
a
can do.
dancer, so
Yeah.
it's a little 1, 2, 3. I
Yes.
need to work that turkey off.
I'm gonna give you
the
a-
ham hot. Yeah, I need to get all that off. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the next one is no seasoning or no sides at all. Just turkey.
What?
So it would either
I
have
don't
to
like
be
that one.
just a
Skip.
seasoned turkey.
No,
Or
yeah,
nothing.
just a regular turkey and no sides, no mac and cheese, none of that. Just turkey.
Oh no, you mean a
Or-
seasoned turkey and nothing, or,
Yeah, or
a
just-
dry turkey with sides.
Just no seasonings on any of the food. So you can have all the food with no seasonings, or none of the food with just a turkey.
Now, is this how they cooked it?
Look, it's either no seasoning or no
Look.
sides. Which one?
Oh,
No seasoning.
Okay.
yeah, because I need the I would.
Yeah, I'm not
We
even
gonna
really
figure it
fond
out.
of turkey
I'm
like that.
I'm gonna find your cabinet,
Especially
and if
all the
not,
stuff they're shooting these turkeys up with these days, honey. I don't really.
I don't even know the MSG.
I put it on my plate just so nobody feels any type of way.
Yeah,
you
there
know,
you go.
you know the fucking vibe.
And if I don't eat it, I'm gonna put a napkin over and just move it on to the
And
other
just
plate.
turn the plate
I'm
over in the
so
trash.
full. This is
Now
plate
let's go
number
play
2.
spades.
All right, here we go. So, sweet potato pie or apple pie?
Apple.
Apple.
I am shocked.
Because everyone don't know how to
You
make
didn't say
potato.
pumpkin, bitch.
That's
I don't know
even
nothing about that
worse.
sweet potato. Girl,
I'm
what
so.
you mean?
I'm from Atlanta, so I
Oh,
gotta
I get
pick
it.
sweet
Yeah, no offense.
No, I get it. Ring the shade bell. Where's the shade bell? All right, so the last one, a table of all of your exes or your shadiest family members.
Oh, my shadiest family members. They're exes for a reason, bitch. I don't want to see them.
Bye.
Especially on Thanksgiving.
Right, because I am
Fuck you mean?
thankful.
I want my cranberry sauce.
Unless I'm getting a golden ticket to heaven.
Well, I
fair
wish you
enough.
guys a very happy Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Look,
Do you
we
guys
go-
believe it is next week?
No.
It's really next week, so I mean, hey.
Oh my
And
God,
then
prepare
Christmas
to be
right around the
bloated.
Yes.
Christmas right around the corner. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I can't wait.
Gia, so I see that you was just giving everybody life in this new, you're acting now.
Oh my
Yes.
God, I'm acting. Yes.
My song.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Ragnaron.
It's happening.
The comic book series brought to life by
the
Malone
first
Christopher.
LGBTQ comic, which is surprisingly a really fucking big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, I just took the opportunity and was like, I need to do this. Like,
Yeah.
I need to do this now because I am no longer a person. I am a vessel, if that makes sense.
Yes.
For my community as a whole, and when I mean my community, that's LGBTQ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, okay?
PTSD.
For all of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not just for my girls, you know? And it was just a great experience to work with a group of people that were so open, that were so vulnerable, and a lot of us are new to acting. So there was a lot of hiccups, you know, but it was so great that nobody was judgmental. Nobody was trying to act better or like above. We were always like helping each other throughout the whole process, I just definitely want to give a shout out to Milan Christopher and the entire cast because this is something that needs to happen.
Yeah,
like
I see both sides of it with him. I see people hating on him and
of course,
and giving him his flowers.
What creativity
but at the same time, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think obviously he's somebody who is working with what he has, and to be able to even think of creating, like you said, I'm going to use that as a vessel to tell a story of something that, as a little boy, I see him probably looking at and being like, why don't I see myself?
Guys.
And to involve his community instead of finding people that he could probably connect with.
When he called me, I was like, am I ready for this?
Yeah.
And in all honesty, I'm getting a little nervous, only because it was a part of my reality, that he actually portrayed my storyline a little bit, and just to see that magic happen and to be a part of it. I wasn't sure initially if I was ready for, the reality of it. You know what I mean? Because I'm a superstar. You know what I'm saying? I love the lights. I love the cameras. I love the attention. But sometimes realistically, like, you're not prepared for what comes with that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to honestly prepare myself for, because the storyline, I don't know if you guys are into it at all yet, but please, if you get the opportunity, please.
I need a clip.
Wait, let's talk about this outfit that you have on.
Okay, so shout out to my one of my besties, Diamond, who is amazing.
Shout out to D. What's up, D?
He's amazing, but he literally did this in a day and a half. Just like that green dress.
Okay, so she said you did a split, so pull back, show him the shoe.
Okay, just a little light.
Actually, I wasn't talking about that outfit, but thanks for the leg. I was talking about your outfit in the movie.
Yes, in the series.
So you got her lifting her legs up and stuff.
Oh, sure do.
She's a performer.
Yeah, that's done. That's done. We can do that. That's done. But the outfit for it. He originally sent me some clips of some stuff he wanted to create, and I was like, just please let me have this character, because for me, I am that. Yeah. It was so easy for me to tap into that vulnerability space, because she was a character that was harmed, that was broken, that was vulnerable, and that was frustrated and wanted revenge. And for me, as an artist, I feel like it's so easy to tap into that aesthetic when you're considered the underdog. You know what I mean? You use that underestimation and you create that frustration, and then that energy, it just builds. So I used a lot of that for that character. And when he mentioned wardrobe, I was like, can I just... let me get with my girl.
Let me do me.
Live. Let me be great. And we knocked it out the park.
Wait, did Diamond help with this one too?
Diamond helped with that one, yeah. He also did my whole look on Sierra. I will make sure to give y'all the credits so Diamond will be tagged in all this moment. Yes, because he is so talented. And just for me to call him like 2 days before, and for him to just boop, 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 boop.
You got to be on one accord to make that happen.
Yes, exactly. So. And that's, for me, that's how I create a team. I work with people that I have like a genuine chemistry with, because for me, it's not really work. We have to connect on that level. Like, a lot of the times, it can't be a picture that I show you. You have to be in my head already. And sometimes that's really hard to deliberate or to discuss or describe something, and we're not connecting, if that makes sense. But me and him, a lot of the times, like, he'll spit something out, and I'm like, yes, bitch, that's it. That's so for me, that's what exactly, Queen. That's it. You nailed it. Yeah.
Okay, so where can everyone follow you? What can we expect? I want you to look in this camera right here.
Oh, that one?
Give the girls a face.
Okay, so listen, you guys, make sure to follow me on Instagram. That's Gotta Love Gia. That's GOTTALOVEGIA. Yeah, I don't know why people want to spell love.
It's gonna be written down below.
But yeah, we're gonna put it right there. Okay. On Facebook, I'm Gia Banks. That's GIABANKS. On Twitter, that's the THAGEA Spot. Yes. SPOTE.
Now you have some shows coming up on the 22nd?
Yes, I have Precinct downtown.
Oh, I love that place.
Also going to be at Precinct the following week for Black Girl Magic. I'm in Orange County for Strut. They have a Sunday brunch that is phenomenal. I'm so excited to go down to Orange County.
Elgin, you driving?
So sweet. And then
not in his car though.
I am also doing something special for the LGBTQ, obviously Trans Awareness Week, on McCadden at the LGBT Center Friday. So I'm excited about that too.
So make sure you guys follow Gotta Love Gia so you can keep up and you can go see her perform because she gives.
Yes, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you guys for having me.
We wish you the best. We wish you many banks.
Okay. Shout out to her.
That's why the last name is. All right, so we have Lauren Legrasso coming up. We're going to take out. She did our White Room quiz, so make sure you guys take a look, a listen, and she'll be right with us right after the video.
Hey, it's Lauren Legrasso, and you're watching AfterBuzz Tonight with Jessie Janity. So today we're going to play a little game. It's called Who, What, If, Where, Why. Let's go. Where is the worst place you could get stuck at? The first thing that came to my mind was a dump, like an actual garbage dump, just like being stuck there in the terrible smells forever. What song reminds you of a relationship and why? Oh man, I really love sad songs. So I guess my favorite song about a relationship would be I Can't Make You Love Me by Bonnie Raitt. It's just, I think, the most heartbreakingly beautiful sad song, and it's just one of the best songs that ever has been in our consciousness. Who is your favorite superhero and why? I'm not a huge superhero person, but I love Wonder Woman because, you know, she's holding it down for the ladies. Respect. If you could talk to the president, what would you talk about? Oh, God. I would just say, why? Why? And I would probably try to walk him to the doctor's office and get him a mental analysis to make sure that everything's firing on all cylinders, because the way he runs his Twitter account, it really doesn't seem as if that is okay. And I would probably just ask, like, what did your parents do to you that made you this way? At the movie theaters, which armrest is yours and why? Both. I'm Lauren Legrasso, and you're watching AfterBuzz Tonight.
Yo, we're back, and I'm definitely Instagramming right now, so make sure you guys follow me at DJ Jessie J and check out what I'm Instagramming. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen, she's a singer, she's a songwriter, she's a producer, she's an OG AfterBuzz host. Okay. Lauren Legrasso in the building.
What's up, Jessie?
What?
I love you.
I love
Welcome
you.
back.
Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you.
Yay.
I love shows like this because literally I have these are two genuine people in my life who that I can bring onto my platform and be like, wow, I fucking love you guys because you're epic and amazing. So shout out to you and shout out to Gia for coming on my show. I'm like, this is amazing to me. And it's baby steps and I'm growing, but thank you.
Oh my God, you're growing so big and you're just such a visionary and genius when it comes to all things creative. And I really couldn't have put out this album without your support and your help.
I love you.
No, I mean, you were a huge, huge part in the aesthetic of what we ended up coming up with. And, you know, something you said to me, because we were trying to be like, should I do red hair? Should I do this? And you're like,
look, I worked for Bellamy for 3 months and now I'm the hair guru.
No, you really are though. You've got an incredible eye, but you're like, let's look at Britney. She started out with her original hair, then she went crazy. So it's like in more ways than one. But, you know, you were so right. You know, it's like start with the original, maybe do a little flair, and then
let
we'll move
them
it
see
along.
the authentic you, and that's what I love about you, because I love, and it's earlier Gia talked about it with seeing, people being authentic and owning who they are. And what I love about you is that you are one of those people in my life that you genuinely just put it out there, and you're just like, you know what? It just wasn't working for me, and I was focused. You put your focus. We talked about this so many times. We put this focus in business because that's what makes the money. But as a creative, it's suffocating.
Yeah, it will kill your soul.
And to hold on to that for so long, and now finally, I'm so proud of you that you finally have let that, not that you've let it go, but you found a way to balance both parts of the world. What an adulting. How has that been for you? And I want to talk about the depressive side of it, because that's not, I hate to say it, but that's something we're actually both good at doing, is talking about that and owning that. How did you get out of that funk of the 9 to 5, the stuck in that I have to create, but I have to make money, and moving away from creativity and that suffocation?
Well, I think it's a constant battle still, because whenever you're working something that isn't, I mean, not to say producing isn't my ultimate passion. I love it, and I think it's in many ways empowered me to do what I'm doing now. But it's weird because you have to kind of like shapeshift into this other version of yourself, which isn't completely authentic, and it can be draining. Yeah. But one way that I started to kind of gain my creative energy back was by telling people who I really was. So now when I go in, like, unless I'm like sitting with Gwyneth Paltrow, because like, you know, realistically, she's focused on something else. But like when I go into rooms now, I tell people all the things I do, and that makes me feel like I'm not a fraud, because it was what was making me feel like a fraud and not being able to be creative after work was not being able to share who I really was. And I've been a performer since I was 3 years old. I did my first musical, like I danced my first recital when I was 2.5, did my first musical when I was 3. So walking into those rooms and hiding that piece of myself felt like lying. Wow. And so once I stopped doing that and like came out as myself, it was easier to be creative in the after hours.
Was there a confusion point for you where, because I go through that, where I'm 34 years old, and it's like I'm finally like getting to a place of really loving myself and remembering what that felt like. Because there was a point where I genuinely like, bitch, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Right.
And then there's all that in between, which outside forces, which I attach to, right? How did you get that mindset of, you know what? Did you have that awkward moment of like, oh wait, it's okay to be me? Like, because you were hiding it. You were putting it in this, we talked about the jackets, wearing like suit jackets, and you really just wanted to wear a fucking boa. Like, what did that feel? What was that kind of journey for you?
Well, I think that there were years when I felt ashamed, and like there were people in my circle who were making me feel ashamed of being multiple things. But then I realized
civilians.
Yes, exactly. But being a multi-hyphenate isn't a curse, it's a blessing. And it actually makes you understand every person in the room versus this is my one lane and I'm just going to stick to it. It makes you an interesting person. So I guess is the question like, how did I finally get to a place where I could open up about that?
Yeah.
Because it was making me miserable, because I was depressed, and I was, every time, the reason I have that podcast, Unleash Your Inner Creative, is because every time I've been depressed in my life was when I was denying who I was, which is really a creative being. And I've realized that repressed creativity is the cause of so much of the world's suffering. So I couldn't do it anymore because I felt like I was dying inside. So I slowly, like, it wasn't like overnight, I was like, this is me, and guess what, I still have a long way to go. But like, slowly, step by step, I started revealing a little bit. Oh, I have a show tomorrow night. Oh, I did a podcast with this person. So it's not like, I'm a podcast star. It's like little things here and there. And then the people get to know you, and you don't feel like you're concealing pieces of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Now, was there a point where you, like you said, you were writing songs and but you weren't performing them, that you started to get to a point where you didn't believe in yourself?
So my songwriting journey is really weird, where I didn't write anything for the first 23 years of my life because I didn't know I was a songwriter. And then after I wrote my first song, like within a year, I had all this success. Like I played House of Blues, I played Viper Room, I played Hard Rock Cafe. And then after that, I think I lost a little bit of confidence because I realized how hard it really was. Like being ignorant can actually be a really big blessing because you just go after things without realizing the actual treachery of the industry you're entering. And so once I did realize that, I hit a plateau with my music until very recently. And I think that realizing like it's now or never. Like I turned 30 this past year, 2019. And I think my 20s were like a personal fight club. I was just like beating myself up the whole time. And once I turned 30, I'm like, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to live your life in fear? Are you going to let fear be in the driver's seat of your life? Or are you going to do what you've known you wanted to do since you were 3? what would be worse, failing at what you want to do or never trying? And finally I realized never trying would be actual hell, and I could never forgive myself for that, but I could definitely forgive myself for trying with all my might and failing. Or maybe succeeding, and oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the single Road to Glory.
Yes.
Now, which this has been a long road.
Yeah.
And this specific song, writing something like this, why was this the single? Why was this the song, you know, all these years? Because it's been years where we've been like, girl, why aren't you going to put a song out?
It's been 4.5 years. Yeah. It's been a road. It's been a long road. So why this song? Because it's like the culmination of my entire journey. I wrote this when I was way younger. Most of it in an airplane, weirdly. Yeah, like I swear... It's I think sometimes with creativity we're like channeling a higher consciousness, and in this case it really was, because I didn't know what I was writing. At that point I absolutely didn't know the road to glory. Like I thought life was so hard, but realistically I was a 25-year-old and I really hadn't suffered yet. And so I feel like my younger self wrote it for my older self, because it's the exact song I need right now.
Yeah.
And so it's really about the hero's journey. It's about the long, painful climb to be the person and the artist that you want to be. And it's about taking all that pain and turning it into purpose, and realizing that you're stronger for your suffering, and that, you know, the road might go on forever, but as long as you just always keep going, it's worth it. And you'll eventually get there.
Now we're gonna get the video soon.
Early December.
I saw a little clip.
Oh.
You did?
I did. But we're gonna take a little listen right now. The audio track, you guys can check it out on YouTube and on all streaming platforms. It's Lauren Legrasso's "The Road to Glory." Take a listen.
The road before me isn't paved, it isn't smooth. I've got a light inside me, even though the sun is too. And I've been knocked off my feet, but I'm still crawling on my knees. I won't let go. On the road to glory, won't sell my soul. On the road to glory, won't let go. On the road to glory. Shots of glass tearing and ripping right through me. Love lies, but the truth has set me free. As I softly whisper down, I unveil what's underneath. I am a warrior, oh, won't stop fighting. I know the road before me isn't paved, it isn't smooth. I've got a light inside me, even though the sun is too. And I've been knocked off my feet, but I'm still crawling on my knees. I won't let go. On the road to glory.
Lauren Legrasso, "The Road to Glory." Y'all can check it out across all music streaming platforms, and I recommend y'all go down that, purchase that, do all that.
You
okay?
know what I see in this song? Like, feature film.
Oh, I love
This
you.
is like, you know, the football team.
Coming of age.
They're like, they just found this newfound, like, hope to win the championship, honey.
Okay,
And they-
come on, you better have a
and
Disney
they-
story attached.
Right, and they bring Denzel Washington to come.
Coach
Let's get Denzel in.
Coach Carter 2. Was there a Coach Carter 2?
No, but we
Okay,
will
we
have
gonna
one, and
create-
we'll have this song on there.
I'm with
Oh
it.
my gosh, I'm so, yeah, that's the dream. It's like getting a
Sponsorships.
placement, yeah. Working on it.
See,
And
I
that's
see
what it
this
is.
for you, so I'm speaking
Thank
of
you.
real
Oh,
life.
let's visualize. Let's
Yes.
visualize.
And
Manifestation.
That's what we're doing
Yes.
here tonight.
Yes.
But it's baby steps, you know. And
Yeah.
again, and it's great. What I love about us here at AfterBuzz is that we all met each other, and it was almost like a bunch of kids meeting each other with these bags filled with so many promises and wishes and dreams and all this stuff, and we all just kind of dumped them out on the table. And happy birthday to the founder of AfterBuzz, Keven Undergaro.
Happy
today.
birthday,
Yes, happy
Kevin.
birthday, Kevin.
Shout
We
out to
love you.
because he is somebody, and it's so funny. You know, I know an AfterBuzzer when I not only see you, but I've known you for so long, and we have the same thing engraved in us, and there's this gratitude, and there's this childlike hope within us
Right.
that we will not let go. And
Never
it's all
give
because
up.
of you, Kevin, honestly.
Yes.
And I see that with you because I think you got to a time where you weren't comfortable with putting your music out, and I'm so proud of you to see in these 4 years you finally get to that point where it's like, you know what? Fuck what anyone has to say. Here it is. You know, and I see that a lot for a lot of the older OGs, you know, of finally building that confidence and saying, like, you know, I want to take that step. I want to take that next jump. And you are a role model in that aspect of it, for taking this journey and putting your everything into your dreams and working that 9 to 5 so that you can fuel the dream.
Yeah, they're your investor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk on it, because you did say that. Actually, now I'm thinking, like, you did say this to me.
Yeah.
Talk about the investment.
Okay, so my friend Raina taught me the best thing. Your job, you know, you could complain about it and be like, oh, I gotta go to my job. Or you could reframe it in your head to being your investor. Every great company needs an investor. And if you can look at your job that way, it goes from being like this thing that you have to do that's taking you away from your dream to the thing that's actually enabling you to do your dream.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I try to change my verbiage every time I do that. So every time I say, oh, I have to do this, I'm like, okay, wait, check it, bitch. I get to do these things.
Right.
So I'm always grateful about the things I'm able to do. You know?
And it's important for all of us to kind of get like that, because I think we live in a society where media trains us to have that. Look at the Kardashians. Look at this. It's almost something that seems unattainable, right? But we're living literally every person in this room is living their dream. We have all taken a step towards becoming the best version of ourselves. And you all inspire me for that. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this show and to be able to give a platform to be able for all of us to fucking be here and just fucking be amazing creatives. So 2020, I saw that your main goal is to make sure that you finish an entire project.
Yeah, gotta finish the whole thing.
So let's talk about New Year's and resolutions that we never keep up with. So this one, we're going to keep up with this. Because you have to at this point.
I have to. Like, I
well, you
stated
said it on
it.
live TV now, so you have to.
2020, the rest of the songs are coming out.
Jenna, what's good with you?
I'm working on being more organized.
Oh, that's good.
Like,
I
I
that
feel
one
like
too.
organization has a place in being successful. You can't, like, receive a blessing when your shit's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of, you got to open it up, that space, and receive that blessing. So being organized, reading more, praying more, and, like, being in the present for me.
Yeah.
Being in the present is probably, for me, the most difficult, because I think I am such a big picture person that I'm always jumping to that, like, okay, but what are the steps? And it's like, bro, you already know the steps. Come back down here.
Yeah.
Live in the moment. You know, and that's, again, I look to you and I see you on the set of your music video, and I look at that like, you know, because I'm trying to put, bitch, I've been trying to put Jesse's house out for too long, okay? But it's coming. It's shot. It's filmed. It's coming. But I love and I respect you, and what was that final push for you that was like, this is it, right now? I have to take it. I have the money. I have my investment. Right now is the moment, because I'm ready to feel life push me in that way.
Well, I knew everything that I had done, like the music, was finally as good as it possibly could be. Like, if I had put out my album 4 years ago and I started, it would have been a shit show. I was not the kind of artist that I needed to be to sustain a 5-song EP. I didn't know myself, first of all, as a person. Didn't know myself as an artist. And my voice wasn't good enough. I had to take these voice lessons that taught me, okay, I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to give you a little pro tip right now.
Don't.
You got to sing from the pelvic floor. Not just the diaphragm.
Where's that?
So you know a Kegel?
The pussy popping little.
But you want to do it sounds transintuitive, but you want to do the opposite of a Kegel.
So
and then you lift your
like
soft palate. Well, you don't want to go that far.
For a gay male.
Nearly a fart. But not quite. And that gives you the support so that you don't lose your voice. And then you lift the soft palate.
So
anyway,
sing from the pussy.
Basically, you want to sing from your other lips. But that really, it was a game changer for me, because I started singing from this place of depth versus, like, I was singing from my throat before. And so then I was singing from, like, the root chakra, you know, bringing up that earth energy.
Okay,
it changed everything.
Bitch had titanium in her body.
Yeah. Basically.
She got a whole EP in there.
I had an EP in the vag. So.
And now we're letting it out.
Unleash your inner creative.
Unleash your inner creative.
Hello.
So I needed to learn to become a better singer. I need to learn to become a better artist. The other thing was that the music, like a year ago, it was ready to come out.
Okay.
Like 2018 was ready. But then I got the same note from two separate people that said, your vocals aren't good enough still, and we need, and not to say I wasn't a good enough vocalist, but like the vocals on the track needed to be stronger, and this track sounds dated, so we had to start over again. And so finally, in fall of 2019, I'm like, okay, this is actually as good as I can do. Like, I win the most improved superlative. I'm ready to push this out into the world because I feel it is truly representative of me as a human, as an artist, and it's exactly what I want to say right now. And if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it.
Look at that. You said 4 years, right? That's high school.
Yep.
Boom. She graduated.
Graduated, honey buns.
Road to glory.
Well, I'm excited for everything you have coming up, and now I'm like, I got this fire in me now, so I'm really gonna be organized.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jenna coming out with a track next week
on the road.
And I love that too because even a first segment, Gia was talking about being the underdog and really stepping forward, and you talk about that. And there was this questionnaire I read, and you talked about being that voice for the underdog.
Yeah,
that's what you felt.
I just want people to know that it's never too late for them. That there's power in being a late bloomer because you have all this buildup and pain and like an ability to relate to other people. That being an underdog is a gift because you fucking fought for it. You know? So that's what this song is about. It's about teaching people that no matter who they are, no matter where they are, they can fight for their dreams, and if they just keep going. I said don't give up earlier, but I don't like using that because you're always hearing give up, give up, give up. So I like to replace it with always keep going, always keep going, always keep going. And if you do that, you're on the road to glory.
I love it. I love you.
I love you so much.
Camera right here. Tell everyone where they can follow you and where they can purchase Road to Glory.
Absolutely. You can follow me at Lauren Legrasso everywhere, laurenlegrasso.com. I have a show coming up on the 6th of December at Bar 20 on Sunset Boulevard, 8 p.m., so join me. And you can buy Road to Glory wherever music is streaming. Download on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, all the places. It's there.
Boom!
Amen. All right
Yeah.
now.
Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me. I adore you. I think you're the most talented human on earth. And I just, again, like this album release couldn't have happened without your vision. So thank you. I love you.
Thank you for coming, Miss Gia. Thank you for coming through. J-Lo, where can everyone follow you?
What a wonderful conversation we had today. I got so much done. I'm so ready.
Look, but J-Lo ain't come to my Thanksgiving because the bitch gonna be over there with a saltless turkey.
She needs her ham.
A saltless turkey and some ham.
Right. Well, I won't be cooking this Thanksgiving, but I will be eating, and I'll be posting all my great food. Follow me.
All someone else's great food.
Right, that part. So follow me on Instagram at Who's Jayla Rocks. That's 2 X's 3 if you nasty.
Yeah, but you not. So make sure you guys hit us over at AfterBuzz tonight across all streaming platforms. And hit me up at DJ Jesse J. And remember, only you can prevent your dreams from coming true.
Ooh, yes.
Till next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.